Hey guys, welcome back to Sparkmanhomestead. My name is Krista. So today we are going to head out to the Amish because I need to get some tomatoes. I pulled all of my tomato plants 2 weeks ago. I think it's been 2 weeks since I pulled them because they were just not producing. They were getting eaten alive by bugs. Like even the green tomatoes had severe bug damage. This is the tiny little bit that I was left with after I pulled the plants. This is ridiculous. Normally I have a table full of green tomatoes and this is all that I'm left with. I have a tiny little bag in my freezer that I can use for sauce, but we only have 4 quarts left of our tomato sauce. I like to have way more than that, at least 12 jars of tomato sauce, like 12 pints. So I thought, okay, that's fine. This year is just not going to be a tomato year and I'm just going to have to buy tomato sauce. And Costco has it, Azure has it. And then I looked at the ingredients. Even with the organic stuff, it had a whole bunch of other things in it. It had seasonings in them. And when I can my tomato sauce, I just do tomatoes and usually citric acid because when you're canning tomato products, you do need to add a little bit of acidity to them. So I usually use citric acid. If I don't have citric acid, then I'll use lemon juice. But anyways, that's all I put in it. I don't put salt, pepper. I don't put Italian seasonings, nothing. And I cannot find any brand name, any company that does not add extra stuff into their tomato sauce. So I'm hoping today we can go out to the Amish and pick up some tomatoes on sale. They usually at the end of the season have some really good deals on canner tomatoes, which is all I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to get them home and throw them immediately into my roaster and just make a plain sauce with them. Because with that plain sauce, I can always make more pasta sauce when I run out of it if I have the plain tomato sauce. So we're going to head out to the Amish today and hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to find some discounted tomatoes. I just want to make sure that I'm getting a good deal because they are in season. And because we're near the end of the season, I'm hoping to get a good deal. That's the way I save money, is I just kind of look for deals and stuff. The other thing we need to do when we get home is we need to go back there and harvest some green beans because I know I have a little bit on there. I want to do a couple pints today and get those put into the pantry. So we'll do that project when we get home. But the other thing I want to look for as well as tomatoes is I want to see if they have any potatoes on sale. Just get a little bag of potatoes and then I want to see if they have their apples. I need to get some applesauce made. So I want to see if they have any of those. Plus, I just really love fresh eating apples this time of year because we're in apple season now. And potentially pears. I was going to order some pears on Azure Standard and then they sold out before I could even get my order in. Like said that one day they were on sale. I put them in my cart as soon as they came available and the very next day they were out of stock. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get any pears from them this year, which really sucks because I didn't get any pears last year either. So I really want to get some pears in my pantry because I love having pears in the winter. A little bit of spiced pears. Oh, so good. The dead of winter. Just love it. So that is the plan for today. So we're going to go to the Amish. Hopefully, fingers crossed, get some tomatoes put into the roaster oven and then get some green beans canned. So let's head out to the Amish and see what we can find. I'm just going to preference this ahead of time. When I'm at the Amish, I try to respect their privacy. They're not fans of this whole camera stuff. So I'm going to try to film when I'm in there, but I may not get very much footage. So just set your expectations ahead of time before we get out there. So let's go. This is making me laugh in the background. You can see the turkeys here. I'll show you what my rear view mirror looks like. It's not focusing very well, but as soon as I started pulling out, they all started running towards the fence. They're just so nosy. So just make me laugh. I will show you them when we get back because I swear that the last couple of days they had like doubled in size. They are starting to get very big. I actually had to pick one of them up the other day because they wouldn't go into the coop when I needed them to go, so I had to pick one up and they are getting pretty heavy, which is awesome because we want those birds nice and big by the end of October. We're stuck in a little bit of a traffic jam. This is what happens when you come out here. It tends to hold up traffic a little bit. Oh, I see some discount stuff. Those ones look good for sauce. These $12. Little cabbages. One thing I love about this particular Amish store is that they have this chart in apple season, and it tells you what variety of apple does better for storage or for cooking. It also gives you a breakdown of what they taste like. Sadly, they did not have their boxes available yet. They just had the bags of apples. I did end up getting a bag of ambrosia apples. I love them. So we spent $35 in there and we got quite a bit of stuff, so I'm excited. I ended up getting some butternut squash. I didn't plan on coming and getting that, but it was $10 for that box, and I didn't get any this year. Mine all ended up dying. So that box will last me through the whole winter, so that's perfect. $10 for that. Amazing. So we're gonna go to one more place to see if I can find any more tomatoes. Those tomatoes are a little green, so I probably can't process them today, but let's see if we can find some ripe ones at the other stop. So they're getting all of their winter crops in. Looks like they have some onions, and look at their cabbages, just gorgeous. Oh, I love it. Looks like they got peas and some lettuce there. We did end up buying that lettuce right there, so amazing. All right, we're coming up to the next one. This right here is my dream house. Such beautiful, beautiful gardens. And don't worry, I'm doing this hands-free. So this is the next one. They always have discount stuff out front, so we'll check that one first. But this one looks like it's open until November, so that's good to know.
You want to put them in a box or a bag? Is which one you want?
Yummy. All right, so there was a little bit of haggling going on in that store, so I did not record a lot. There was this man that was looking for something. I guess he wanted to go and pick the fields. I'm not sure. Anyways, there was kind of an argument, so I turned the camera off. But I could not find anything there because the other place was way cheaper. So I ended up just getting a head of lettuce for $2. I'm really craving salad, so it'll be nice to have that lettuce. Ours is not nearly ready yet. It is just starting to come up. So I just got a little bit of lettuce. I am debating if I want to go back to that other place and just pick up one more box for $12 of tomatoes, and then those 2 boxes will be good for the year. $12 is a really good deal for canning tomatoes. What should I do? What should I do? I don't know. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I'll think about it on the way because I had to go past that place on the way home. So I'll think about it. Now comes the fun time. We need to empty the car. Oh, and I did stop at another place on the way home and I picked up this cantaloupe. It was on sale for $2 and Steven loves cantaloupe, so I got one of those. I decided not to go back and get more tomatoes. The reason I decided not to go back was because these are like a canning tomato or a slicer tomato. So they have a lot more moisture in them. So I don't really want to get another box of these. I should have gotten the Roma ones at the other place for $20 because Romas have less moisture in them and they boil down to more meat or more, stuff, more tomato stuff rather than liquid. So I decided not to stop and get another box. So this one I'm going to let ripen a little bit because as you can see, they're still got some green on them and not all of them are ripe. So I'll just keep putting them into my freezer while they ripen. And then once they're all good, then I will do my sauce. So unfortunately today I can't do that project, but we do need to get into the back and get some green beans picked so that I can get those canned. None of this stuff needs to go into the fridge, so I might just leave it here while we go and get the green beans. So let's go and get a basket and get those. So let's head out. I got my basket. I also got my chicken egg basket. I like to leave it out by the chicken coop. That way I just have it out there when I'm collect my eggs in the afternoon. All the turkeys are hiding. That's their shaded area. I need to move this solar panel so it's in the sun. It's starting to get hot out here again. We had a beautiful little cold snap and it was, I hate walking under this arch sometimes because there's cicadas hide on here and then they jump out at you. I hate it. Anyways, we had a nice cold snap, but now we're supposed to get back into the 90s, so it's a little hot out here. Let's get these all picked because there's so many of them. Turkeys are out saying hi now. They're not appreciating the warmer weather coming back. But look how big they've gotten. The size of some of these beans. These are a Kentucky Wonder pole bean and they do very well in Kentucky. Some of the smaller ones I am going to leave on so that they can get a little bit bigger, but ones like this size, that'll be the smallest ones that I'll pick, but these definitely can grow for a little bit more, little babies. Green beans, you have to be really careful when picking because sometimes you pull off more. Like that had a little baby one on it too. Oh, I always say picking green beans reminds me a little bit of a treasure hunt because you kind of got to dig in the leaves to find them. They like to hide in the leaves. You gotta, oh, that one's too small. I see some hiding over there. I need to get out here and also pick some jalapenos. Started to, and then I kind of abandoned the project because we had friends come over. So I need to get out here and finish. But look at this jalapeno plant is putting on more little plants, which is fine. This will grow. I still have enough time that these will be able to produce into jalapenos, but the plants are just still loaded with flowers. But I need to get out here and harvest these. I also need to get out and pick these. These are some Jimmy Nadero red peppers. They're like a sweet pepper. They're so delicious. So the plant has a whole bunch on here and I need to harvest some of those. Our friend is in town from Florida for a couple of the car shows, and his mom came to visit, and she came over to the farm, and she's Italian, and she was telling me about this roasted red pepper sauce that she makes with red peppers. And now that's what I want to try to do. So I've been doing some research, and I think I'm going to try to make a sauce with those Jimmy Nadero ones. So I know I said I pulled all my tomato plants, but I did leave a couple of the whatever they're called, the Roma ones, because they're still full of green tomatoes that will still end up blushing. So I just left them. It does look sad. They will go red. Oh, let's see if this one has any bug bites. Oh, we're good. No bug bites. Ugh. This one though, not so lucky with that. Yeah. Also noticed that I have a whole bunch of these stupid squash bugs, but I noticed I have a whole bunch of these honey nut squash back here, all over there. Super little, but they're really, really sweet. So I'm gonna get these picked also. All right, so I have one little spot over here that has some more green peppers, or not green peppers. What are we picking? Green beans. So let's get those picked, and then we'll get inside and get them canned. Green beans are so easy to can. So easy. I got totally sidetracked out there and started picking these little cherry tomatoes because I want to have a tomato salad for lunch. So I started picking tomatoes, and now I am just sweating because it is hot out there. I found one green bean that dried on the vine. Let's see what the seeds look like inside. I don't think those are good. I was gonna say I can save it and use them to plant next year, but those are green. And last I checked, the Kentucky Pole Wonder are white beans. So yeah, that'll just go to the chickens. I know I've said this before, I don't have a root cellar, I don't have a basement, I don't have a cool, dark place to store my squashes. I just store them down here in a little basket. So I'm gonna put what I can fit there, and then I have another basket upstairs that I'll bring down. This is a pumpkin that I grew that is now totally soft. Didn't cure right, so that'll go to the chickens. This is also a little mini pumpkin that I grew. These are sugar pie pumpkins that are supposed to get about 5 times this size, and they just didn't grow very well in the back. And then these are some spaghetti squash that I grew that I rescued from bugs. So we have these 2 tiny little spaghetti squashes. So we'll put those on the top, and then this is another honey nut. And then these ones have cracks in them, so I'm gonna leave these on the top because I'm gonna get to use these first. These ones are such perfect sizes for one person. Great. We got all of our butternut squash in one. Put that on the pantry shelf. All right, we'll just put these in this box until I go up in my attic and get that other thing. We picked all of these little, these actually probably should cure before I put them away. I'll just leave them on the table for now. Cute little ones. They're supposed to get way bigger than this. Oh, I can't wait for my garden soil to be better. And then we've got our basket of green beans. The other thing I want to do is actually lay out these tomatoes. I think I'm gonna go and get a towel first to put down. Some of these have to go in the freezer. They are ripened. These ones are from my garden, so they need to go into the freezer. Get a towel first. I don't like laying the tomatoes on the wood because sometimes they leak and I don't want to wreck the wood. So we'll just put them on here. This is my pile of stuff that's got to go in the freezer over here. This also gives the tomato an opportunity to breathe. That way, if there are any bad ones in here, I can get them out so that it doesn't rot the other ones. But I just like to have them sitting out, just breathing. I find that they ripen better. You can actually store green tomatoes in a box over winter, and I have heard that they will ripen. Never tried it. I'm actually really sad I didn't get a lot of green tomatoes this year because I really wanted to make a salsa verde, and I love to use green tomatoes to make it. I think I did a video a couple years ago using green tomatoes to make salsa verde. I can't remember. I'll have to check through my canning playlist, see if it's in there. Don't have any salsa verde right now, and I don't have any tomatillos, and I don't have any green tomatoes. So no salsa verde this year. So we have all of our green beans here. We're just gonna dump them out. Got a nice little harvest here. This will hopefully get us maybe about 4 pints. So because these are a Kentucky Wonder bean, they do have strings on them. Next year, I am planting all stringless varieties. These do amazing here, but I hate stringing them. And sometimes I don't get all the strings. So you see how it has this? You just want to pull this off because when you're canning it, it's not very nice to have all of these little stringy things in your beans. So I just take the string off, and how I do that is I just take the end, just peel it this way, and then I do it the other way. And then I like to have my beans about that size to can them. So I'm just gonna do this whole batch and put them in here. So we're just gonna sit here and listen to an audiobook maybe and snap some peas. And sometimes some of them are more difficult to string than others. Like next year, I am not growing this variety because I hate doing this. And a lot of times I end up not getting all of the string off, and it's just, ugh, it's so disgusting biting into a string. It's just almost like it's hair in there. Not a fan. So I'll just get these all done. I probably should get my canner out also because this is a pressure canning recipe. So I probably should get my canner out and get my jars warm and get my water ready. Canning beans literally is such an easy project. This is probably the most time-consuming part of it, is just getting these strings off of them. And I find that the ones that are bigger tend to be a little bit more stringier than the other. But anyways, this is a pressure canning recipe, so you do need to have a pressure canner for it, but it comes together so quick. I'm gonna double check the timing. I wanna say it's 20 minutes for pints and 25 for quarts, but I will double check before we start the canning process. So we're gonna use my Presto countertop canner. It handles small loads really easy, and I love it for that. But if you're doing a big project, that countertop canner is not very good because it doesn't fit very much in it. So I decided to get my canner out and get these jars hot. So I just filled my canner with the jars. Woo! And then let's make sure that the lid's all good. The green beans are on page 388 of this canning book, and we're gonna raw pack them. So we're just gonna take those raw beans, put them into the hot jars, top them with some boiling water, and then put them into the pressure canner. And we need to pressure can these for 20 minutes because we're doing pints. If you are doing quarts, that is going to be 25 minutes. Now, normally I do not put salt in my canning. I just like to avoid to do it in case somebody's gonna eat my stuff that doesn't want salted stuff. I've learned that it is either me or the kids eating these, and we both like salt. So I have slowly started adding salt in with my canning. So we are going to add, How much do we need to add? I think we need to add half a teaspoon. I want to double check though. Okay, so it says right here, gives you directions. Hold on, Steven's calling. Had to stop because it was Steven on the phone, and he called to say that our friends that are visiting from Florida, they're actually staying at the racetrack right now. Anyways, they're coming over for supper, and I need to get supper out because I had nothing planned for dinner. So we're gonna do smash burgers. So I just took some meat out of the freezer. Hopefully it'll be thawed. I'm gonna try to quickly get through this project. So as I was saying, the salt. It does give you some measurements depending on the size jar that you're using for salt. So because we're doing a pint size jar, we're gonna use half a teaspoon of salt per jar. If you're doing quarts, you could use up to a teaspoon of salt in that jar. I'm gonna get this lid on. I'm gonna get this plugged in because power helps stuff work. Okay, so we got pressure can, yep, and 20 minutes, yep. So we have the jars in there already, so I'm just gonna hit go, and now it's gonna warm our jars up. The other thing I need to do is get some water in my kettle, and we need to get the water warm because we're gonna be putting that on top of our green beans. Okay, get this heating up. And what else do we need to get ready? So we have our lids out already. Let's get our chopstick out for debubbling. Also need to get a rag out to clean the top of the jars. So get that all ready. Oh, we need a funnel. Funnel. And we need our little jar lifter thing. I need to finish getting those peas snapped, especially now that we have guests coming. I don't mind it that they're coming over without really notice because they are really good friends, so it doesn't matter. Ooh, this one has a lot of strings. Definitely not doing these again next year. And my gardener right now actually has all of his seeds on sale for half price. His seeds are normally $2 a pack, and they are on sale for $1 a pack right now. So I went and ordered some seeds. I didn't order a lot of them because I haven't really gone through my seeds yet. I like to do that in the spring to get my new seeds for the year. But I just got ones that I thought I may have been out of. Like I ordered some more of those I don't know why I can't say the word. The Roma tomatoes, but they're not aroma, they're way better than aroma. Anyways, I ordered more of those. The tomatoes that I'm gonna be growing next year are gonna be a majority of those because they taste amazing, like just so amazing. They're not a high acid tomato, so they tend to be a little bit milder tasting, and they're really sweet and just taste so good in sauces. That is why they are the most expensive canned tomato, because they are worth it. So anyways, I bought some more of those seeds. I think I bought some more Jimmy Nadero because, again, I want to try to make that Italian red pepper sauce. If you guys have ever made the Italian red pepper sauce, let me know what you thought about it because I've never had it. I've never made it, but she was making it sound so delicious. I want to try it. The other thing that she also told me that she loves to make, she does all of the canning, but she does it like old school Italian kind of canning, like the way her grandmother taught her. And I just told her, I'm like, I would love to come and just can with you to learn, you know, some of the older ways of canning. I know that not a lot of them are considered safe anymore, but I just would love to just learn, you know, new ways. Anyways, the other thing she told me she loves is pickled green tomatoes. She's like, do you have green tomatoes? And I said, no, I hardly have any of them. And she was telling me about this recipe that she uses to do the pickled green tomatoes. And she says it is one of her most favorite things ever. So now I almost want to get green tomatoes to try that also. So I want to get these rinsed off. So we'll just put them in here. I'm thinking we maybe got 4 pints, maybe 3, hopefully 4. Give them a nice little rinse because they were outside. I do grow my stuff organic, but still, bugs. See, I didn't get all of the strings. That's what happens. Our jars are done, so we'll get them out of the canner. Now we're gonna take our green beans and we are just gonna stuff the jars. You wanna stuff them pretty tight because they do shrink up in the canning process. So definitely push on them just to fit them all in here. And you want to leave 1 inch headspace. We're gonna get our 4 pints. Yay! Not quite full, but that's okay. And we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of salt in each jar. And then we're gonna add in some boiling water. And again, we're just leaving 1 inch headspace. Debubble them and then just readjust the headspace if needed. I'll have to definitely top these up with a little bit more water. And we just have our clean rag. It's not really sticky. You just want to kind of do this just to make sure that there's no salt on here or just little bits, and just make sure it's clean. I also like to do this step because it gives me an opportunity to check to see if there's any cracks or chips in the jar. So I just like to go through and do this. Get a lid zone. Get our rings on to fingertip tight. You can put in here. This is the one thing I love about this pressure canner is it's gonna beep at me once it is warm, and then I just put the lid on and it just does everything. I don't have to worry about it. It is so convenient that way. It's just kind of annoying because you can only do small loads at a time, but it is amazing when we're just picking, you know, a little bit from the garden. It's super easy just to put it in there and can it. That is gonna be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I showed you guys that if you don't have necessarily a good garden year, you don't have access to a garden, go to your farmer's market, go to your Amish, go to salvage stores, see what you can find available and use that. Putting stuff up in your pantry does not necessarily always mean that you had to grow it. Sometimes you gotta outsource, and today was an outsourcing day. So thanks guys for coming along with me on today's Amish adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you on the next video. Bye guys. Also, I wanted to come back and say thank you guys so much. I just noticed when I was going to read the comments the other day that we got up to 15,000 subscribers. That is so amazing. It means so much to me that you guys are liking the videos and that you are subscribing. It just makes my heart happy. So I just wanted to hop back on here and tell you thank you so much for that. Anyways, bye guys.